Welcome to another episode in our Made Easy Home Improvement series. This time we'll show you how to do your own basic electrical repairs.
We've enclosed a booklet designed to help you find the project in which you're interested. Simply match the chapter title and the color in the booklet with the chapter title in this video.
We'll be covering codes and inspections, fuse boxes and circuit breakers, and the replacement and repair of cords, plugs, wall switches, and receptacles.
Toward the end of this episode, we'll show you how to replace a light fixture. You'll really be surprised at how easy it is. But right now, we'd like to give you some interesting facts on electricity.
Let me put your mind at ease about permits and inspections. You need not get a permit if you're merely replacing or repairing existing wiring. It's only when you extend an existing circuit or plan to add a new one that you'll probably need to get your work approved by an electrical inspector. However, if you're in doubt, ask your local building department about regulations in respect to your job plans.
Before beginning any electrical project involving your house wiring, always turn off the power at the source. Some homes have fuses like this. To check if a fuse is good, look in the window and see if it's burnt. To remove a fuse, unscrew it from the socket, then replace it with a new fuse of the same amperage.
Other homes have a circuit breaker panel like this that controls the power. This is the main switch. Anytime you work on the power in the house, this switch must be turned off. Turning off individual circuit breakers is not always safe, as sometimes more than one circuit feeds a box or a cable.
It's also a good idea to tape a note to the service panel explaining why the power's turned off so that no one comes along and turns it back on while you're working on the wiring.
If you follow our advice, you can safely make all the electrical repairs we're going to demonstrate.
There are three electrical terms that we'll be using. They are watts, amperes, and volts. A watt is a unit of power or the rate at which a device consumes energy. An ampere is the amount of current that flows through a wire or a device. And a volt is the unit that measures the potential difference in electrical force between 2 points on a circuit. Now we'd like to show you the various types of electrical plugs.
Cords on appliances and lamps are often pulled out of the receptacles carelessly, breaking the plug wires. Frayed cords should be thrown away and cracked plug shells as well. To replace a screw terminal plug, remove the insulator and loosen the terminal screws. Unwrap the wire and clip it straight across with wire snips. Slide the cord through the shell. Part the zip cord about 2 inches. And tie it into an underwriter's knot. Watch closely, we'll show you again. Strip off 3/4 inch of insulation from each wire. Now, twist the stranded wires together. and wind them clockwise around the terminal screws. Tighten the screws and replace the insulator.
Many simple repairs should be done before they cause trouble. If a plug feels warm to the touch, replace it immediately. Other danger signals include arcing electricity, intermittent electrical current, or black smudges on the wall beside a plug. These self-connecting plugs are easy. First, cut the wire straight across. Separate the two leads about 1/4 of an inch. Insert the wire into the plug as far as it will go. Then, push the tab all the way down.
When you're working with a 3-prong plug, you'll be working with 3 wires instead of 2. Remove the insulator, loosen the screws, and unwrap the wires. Be sure to take a minute to look at which colored wire is attached to which screw. Split the cord insulation to separate the 3 wires. Strip the insulation about 3/4 of an inch from the end of each wire. Reinsert the wire into the body. Attach white wire to silver screw, black to brass screw, green to green screw. Tighten the insulator screws until they grip the wire firmly. When switches fail, it's usually because the switch contact points have become worn or corroded. We'll be replacing a screw terminal switch. First, turn off the main power disconnect. Then unscrew the switch cover. Loosen the 2 screws holding the switch in the box and pull the switch out. This will extend the wires. The screws usually stay in the mounting strap held by fiber washers. Test the wires with your voltage tester. To do that, place one probe on the metal box in the wall and the other on each of the 2 brass screws in the switch in succession. If your electrical box is not metal but plastic, touch one probe on the bare or white wire and the other on each hot wire in succession. If the light glows, stop. The current is not off. Go turn it off. Be sure your new switch has the same amperage and voltage as the switch you removed. If your wires are already stripped and formed, hook the wires around the screws clockwise and tighten them. Before inserting the switch into the box, push the ground wires to one side, then fold in the neutral wires, followed by the switch. Never force it. Fasten the mounting screws, replace the cover, and tighten the screws.
One way you can save on your electric bill is to replace a light fixture switch with a dimmer switch. The total wattage of lights connected to a dimmer switch must be less than the amount printed on the switch itself. Wall-mounted dimmers, such as the one we're demonstrating, are made to be used with incandescent lights, not fluorescent fixtures.
First, shut off the main power source. Remove the switch cover, and then look inside the box to make sure there's enough room for the dimmer switch. Oftentimes, dimmers are larger than single-pole switches. If there is room, remove the old switch, connect the circuit wires to the dimmer's lead wires, twist the stripped ends together, and screw the wire nuts on. fold the ground wires to one side, then carefully fold the other wires behind the switch as you install it into the box. Turn the main power back on. Install the cover and push the control knob on.
Back-wired switches are the easiest and fastest to install. Unscrew the switch and pull it out of the box. Push a small bladed screwdriver into the wire release slots, then pull the wires out. Cut the house wires blunt, strip them using the guide on the back of the switch, and insert them into the slots. Then fold wires in, place switch into box, fasten and install cover.
Three-way switches are used when you have a light fixture that's controlled by switches in two different locations. This type of toggle is not printed with on and off. It's also different in that it has a terminal which is dark colored and two lighter colored terminals for traveler wires. In most cases you will find two black wires and one red wire. Now, mark the wire that's attached to the common terminal. In our case, it's red. That terminal is darker than the others, which are usually brass or silver colored. Disconnect all the wires as shown previously and connect them to the new switch. Attach the red or marked wire to the dark colored terminal. Then attach your traveler wires.
You could cause a fire by putting too much demand on extension cords. They're just not designed to carry the amount of current that these appliances require. The cord heats up, the insulation melts, and then you have bare wires touching each other, and a fire could result.
If lamps and appliances work in some receptacles and not in others, chances are the receptacle is at fault. Most household receptacles are rated at 15 amps, 120 volts, except for certain stationary appliance receptacles, which might be rated at 20 amps. The wiring may vary depending on if it's in the middle or at the end of a circuit. See these different colored terminal screws? The ground and the neutral are always on the same side. It might help you to leave some wire attached when cutting the house wires. You can use that as a model by matching the colors. Brass screws are hot, white or silver are neutral, and green are ground. Because receptacles are rated for specific amperage with an exact duplicate. Receptacles marked with CUAL can be used with either copper or aluminum wire. Receptacles marked with CU, or those unmarked, may be used with copper wire only. Determine which you need before buying your replacement. We recommend that you use back-wired receptacles because they're easy to install. Merely measure and strip the wires and insert the stripped wire ends into the terminal holes.
To replace a receptacle in the middle of the circuit, turn off the power, unscrew the cover plate, then unscrew the receptacle from the box and carefully pull it out. Note which wire is inserted into which terminal slot. Then remove the wires by inserting a screwdriver into the release slots. Cut, gauge, and strip the wires and insert them into the terminal slots. Insert the receptacle into the box, being careful not to crush any of the wires behind it. Fasten it to the box and install the cover. If you see a white wire that's been painted black or wrapped with black tape, always treat it as a hot wire. No licensed electrician would be guilty of this, but some careless person might have done so.
Just a word about aluminum wiring. In the past, because of the rising cost of copper, Many homes were wired with copper-clad aluminum or all aluminum. It's been found that aluminum wiring can heat up because of a chemical reaction that's caused when it comes into contact with the brass terminal screws. It can reach temperatures high enough to ignite nearby combustible materials. Your local fire or building department will suggest ways for you to keep your aluminum-wired home safe. As a safety measure, we suggest using a pigtail. A black copper wire is attached to the dark terminal, and a white copper wire is attached to the white or silver terminal. They are then attached with wire nuts to the hot aluminum wire and the neutral white wire, respectively. This bypasses the point where most aluminum-related fires originate.
One-half the amount of current required to light a 25-watt light bulb can kill a person under certain conditions. Therefore, to prevent such accidents, the National Electric Code requires that receptacles in newly built outdoor circuits, bathrooms, and garages be equipped with a special circuit breaker called a ground fault circuit interrupter, or a GFCI. The circuitry in the GFCI compares amperage flowing into it through its black wire with current flowing out through the white wire. If it detects a difference of 5/1000ths of an ampere or more, which indicates it is leaking, it will cut off the power within 1/40th of a second. That's so fast that serious shock is prevented. Now, they're not installed like regular receptacles, but by following the enclosed instructions, you can do it yourself easily. Or you can consult an electrician.
If you have a favorite lamp that stopped working, don't despair. All lamps that are made with nuts and bolts are basically the same. First check the bulb, the cord, and then the plug. If they're all good, replace the socket. Unplug your lamp from the receptacle and remove the socket shell by squeezing and lifting the switch where press is indicated. Remove the insulating sleeve and loosen the terminal screws to disconnect the cord. Unscrew the base from the lamp. Get a new socket identical to the old one. Remove the new socket cap, loop the cord wires clockwise around the terminal screws of the new socket, and tighten them down. Replace the insulating sleeve and socket shell. Make sure the corrugated edges of the shell fit inside the cap rim and snap them together. If you need to rewire a lamp, remove the socket shell and sleeve. Then remove the wires from the terminal screws. Cut the old cord and pull it out of the base. Insert the new cord into the hole. Untie the knot. Then tape the two cords together. Bind them with electrical tape and pull up on the old cord, carefully threading the new cord through the lamp. When the new cord is in place, fasten the wires and reassemble the lamp.
An easy way to improve the appearance of your bedroom is to replace that old light fixture with a new stylish one. However, don't try to replace a lightweight fixture with one weighing more than 10 pounds. The heavier fixtures require special hardware attached to the joists.
To replace a light fixture, turn off the power and remove the screws holding your old fixture in place. Pull the fixture away from the box. Remove the wire connections and leave all the other wires alone. Attach the mounting bracket to the box. Strip 1/2 inch of insulation from the wires of the new fixture and connect them to the house wires, black to black, white to white, and ground to ground. Tighten the mounting screws to the box, insert the bulbs, turn on the power, and test your new fixture.
Other energy-saving ideas are to install a timer switch on your air conditioner which will turn it off and on. Also, use watt miser light bulbs.
And if you intend to purchase an appliance, check out the wattage of those that you like. It's printed on a plate on the back of the appliance. All other things being equal, choose the one with the least wattage.
That concludes our show on home electrical repairs. We hope you'll make use of our other Made Easy videotapes on home repair and maintenance. Electrical repairs is just one in our series. Additional subjects cover painting and wallpapering, plumbing repairs, safe and warm, remodeling, and more. For information on where you can purchase our other Made Easy home improvement videos in your area, call 1-800-328-TAPE.